Michel Martin, thank you for joining us. Can you tell us about the Going There series?
Oh, Ebony, thanks so much for having me on. Yes, over the past 3 years that, I've been traveling around the country having live conversations in different cities and towns where we talk about issues that are of national interest, but where people have what I would call lived experience and local expertise. Like, for example, we went to Fort Collins, Colorado and talked about water rights. We went to Dallas and we talked about the ethics of football. We went to New York and we talked about diversity in theater. So we've been having these conversations. People really enjoy them, and we're really excited to come to San Diego to talk about an issue that I know is like an everyday conversation there, which has become a national conversation, which is immigration and what it means to have a border.
So, of course, it's important to have this conversation, but why now?
Well, I think that if you are a person who follows the news, that immigration, the cross-border relationships, that is a daily conversation. I think it was perhaps a daily conversation along the border for probably before you and I were even thinking about being thought of or being in journalism. But now this has become not just a national concern, but a global concern. Like, all over the world, people are on the move and people are talking about what it means to have a border. What is the essence of nationhood? What does it mean to have a free flow of people across the border? Is a border even, some people argue that borders aren't even really necessary, where other people argue that defending the borders is fundamental to a sense of nationhood. So it was certainly very much a part of the presidential campaign that was recently concluded. It is certainly a central part of the administration of Donald Trump. And I really can't think of a better time to have this conversation. We could have had it last year, but certainly I think it's very timely now.
And for our viewers at home, what can they expect if they were to attend? What types of voices will be represented?
Well, one of the things that we pride ourselves on with these events, and as I said, this is our third season doing them, is that we present a range of voices, ideas, and profiles. Like, for example, we will be visiting with, or part of the panel will be a person who does business across the border, who crosses the border daily. And he has offices on both sides of the border, and he'll talk about what that means and what that's like. And he'll talk about his personal experience. We'll talk with a border agent, for example, somebody who's been working as a border agent for 2 decades now and who has a very interesting personal story himself. We'll talk about, obviously we're going to talk with people with immigrant backgrounds, and we'll also talk with journalists who have been covering these issues. I think it's going to be a really interesting conversation. We pride ourselves not just on a diversity of profiles and demographics, but a diversity of ideas and experiences. We also have a simultaneous social media conversation that's been a part of every one of these experiences, so you can participate even if you can't go, although we do hope that if you're in the San Diego, you will come out. We will be on Twitter, we will be on Facebook, it will be live streamed. So however you kind of participate in events, you will find a way to participate. And I do want to mention that the social media conversation will be held in both English and Spanish.
And we're looking forward to it. NPR's Michel Martin, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.